Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my 30-week pregnancy update. We do have, you can see some curls right here. We do have a visitor here, so if you hear some background noise, I'm really sorry about that, but Wyatt doesn't really nap anymore, so sometimes he just wants to hang out while I film videos. So this update is just going to be what has happened since the last update, which was at 26 weeks. I am uploading these pretty far behind. I just haven't been able to catch up. So I will post how many weeks I am currently here, and if you want more real-time updates, then head over to my Instagram, which is at Emily and Max, and then you can keep up to date on this pregnancy a little bit better. So since the last update, I did have to have my glucose test for gestational diabetes, and everyone says how bad it is. So I feel like there's two ends of the spectrum. Either people that go on and on about how terrible it is, and then other people say it actually wasn't that bad. This is my third time taking it. It's my third pregnancy, and I honestly find it to be really challenging. It is just a small drink. It kind of tastes like a melted orange freezy or orange pop with 2 or 3 times the amount of sugar in it, and I really deal with nausea in my pregnancy, and you have to chug it in under 5 minutes and then sit there at the doctor's office for over an hour before they draw your blood, buddy. And I find each time I found it really hard to keep that down. It's just way too much sugar for me personally, and this experience was even worse this time because I was attacked by an older child at the children's hospital while I was there. Yeah, that was an experience. So literally being punched by a child that was 10 or 11 or so, and being pinned in my chair in the waiting room. So it was just a really awful experience all around for me, but I do understand why they have to do it. Gestational diabetes can be a very serious problem if you don't take care of yourself well, if you do get that, but I have been put in the clear yet again. I've never had gestational diabetes with any of my other pregnancies either. I also got my flu shot this year, and so did the kids. I think it's important to protect our children and our elderly and our sick from getting the flu, and I've put this on Facebook, my personal Facebook, that I really wish there was more widespread education surrounding the flu shot, because it protects against influenza, not the stomach flu, which I don't even know why we call it the stomach flu, because it is not a flu. It's just a small virus where you get a fever and you puke for a few days, and yes, it's miserable, but that's not what the flu shot protects against. Influenza can kill a previously healthy adult. It will hospitalize adults, children, elderly. If you have any kind of if your immune system is suppressed in any manner, it can be very dangerous to get influenza, not the stomach bug. And I just personally think it's important if you are able to get your flu shot. Same with the rest of the vaccinations we should be getting. I also had to get a tetanus shot at my last doctor's appointment, which I talked about briefly. I said that my doctor mentioned it in my last pregnancy update, but I now know why. And apparently there was a study done that if an expectant mom in the 28 to 32 week range gets a tetanus shot, your newborn baby is better equipped to handle or prevent whooping cough than the actual whooping cough vaccine that they get as a baby, which I found to be really interesting. And I don't know how recent that study is. I haven't actually looked it up myself, but I do trust my doctor's professional opinion, and I did get the tetanus shot for that reason. I've gained 6 pounds since the last update, which puts me at a total of 24 pounds gained through this pregnancy. And I don't really feel great about that, but there's nothing I can do about that now except for continue to watch what I am eating. I had a big jump last time, but that was around Halloween, which is not a good excuse, but I'm just stating the facts of what happened. I was tempted by a lot of Halloween candy. But since then, like now we're into the holidays, there's sweets and Christmas dinners and all of that, and I just see this going downhill really fast. I'm trying to stay strong and make sure I'm eating healthy, but I'd be lying if I said my weight gain is not something that I am noticing. And my pelvis issues are really preventing me. I was regularly exercising or going for walks or anything like that, and now I can't really do that anymore. So all I can control is my diet, and I need to be more mindful of that. My diastasis pubis is getting worse and quite painful. Grocery shopping and Christmas shopping has been a challenge from walking around, especially if I have the other kids and lots of things to carry. I'm having a really hard time just accomplishing those little things. I need to sit down regularly. I talked about diastasis pubis much more in my last update if you're curious as to what it actually is. My pelvis has kind of separated a bit, or like loosened. I don't really know what the correct like terminology is. Basically your pelvis is held together by a lot of like tendons and ligaments in the front, women's pelvises obviously, that loosens up and opens, like has a little bit of give to it during labor and delivery so that a baby can pass through your pelvis. And this is the second pregnancy that this has happened to me, where those ligaments have loosened up prior to labor and delivery, causing me a lot of pain and discomfort because it will not heal itself. It won't like re-solidify. I'm not a medical professional, and my doctor really hasn't explained it that well to me, to be honest. That won't happen until after labor and delivery, after birth. So I have a long ways to go with my pelvis being like this. I have been having like restless legs over the last couple of weeks, and I do remember this with my other two pregnancies as well. I feel like I can't keep them still. Falling asleep is really hard. Just sitting in the car, I like find myself just like shifting and moving around a lot because yeah, I just feel like the urge to move my legs all the time. It's a really strange sensation. I feel like pins and needles if I don't move them. Like if I try to resist the urge to move my legs, it gets kind of like semi-painful. It's really, really strange. I have been getting melasma on my forehead and my armpit. I do have makeup on today, so it's less obvious, but I didn't apply a full coverage foundation, so maybe you can see right here, it almost looks like I have a shadow on my forehead or like a big dent, but that's actually my skin is getting discolored. And this is probably weird, but also right here, and it's coming up the crease of my arm. Like even when my arm is down, you can see this really dark area of skin is like coming up, and my, you know, body wash, deodorant, none of that changed. It's like pretty much at the same time, I'm stumbling over my words, this appeared as well as on my forehead, and I've been reassured by my doctor that it's just a pregnancy symptom, but she also said that that doesn't mean it will necessarily go away, so fingers crossed for me that I don't constantly look like I have a dent on my forehead forever, because I feel like it almost looks like a shadow or like I have a dent in my forehead. I don't know. It could just be me because it's my own face. I don't really care about the armpit one. Like that doesn't matter. But it's just that it's so large and visible right smack dab in the center of my forehead that I notice it every single day. And it's bothering me, to be honest. I was watching someone else's pregnancy updates and they were mentioning the linea nigra. I'm not sure how to pronounce that really dark line that pregnant women get down the center of their bellies. I had that with both my other boys and I haven't gotten that this time, and I'm kind of surprised like to be at this stage in my pregnancy and to have not really got to be at this stage in my pregnancy and to have not gotten that, but that was just something I wanted to point out. My belly is getting to the point where when things fall on the floor, I really have to like contemplate if it's worth bending over or like squatting down to pick it up. I think that also has to do with my pelvis issues because I find it challenging to do like that type of movement. But luckily my kids have those like grabber toys and those come in very handy when things fall on the floor and I really don't feel like bending over to pick them up. I did have my baby shower on actually the day I turned 30 weeks pregnant, and it was such a fun time to just spend with my friends and family and celebrate this third and final little boy being added to our family. I'm now going to show you what my 30-week bump looks like, and I'll meet you right back here. So I'm wondering if you guys are able to tell how much my belly has dropped. On Instagram, I put this picture up that compares my 20-week versus 30-week bump. And I can see a huge difference with how low that I'm carrying. Again, that has a lot to do with my diastasis pubis, as well as people say that when you carry boys, you carry lower. I almost feel like my belly has like a drooping shape to it because I really don't have much of a torso and my belly is getting quite big. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. But that's everything I have to share with you today for my 30-week pregnancy update. If you have any questions or comments, be sure to leave those, down below. I would love to, Wyatt, honey, quiet. I would love to chat with you in the comments. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!